Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Book Notification Podcast, your go to source for this week's new book releases. Today, we're looking at the week from November 24th to the 30th. There are over 400 new books released in this week with plenty of exciting titles, but there is no way we can cover them all. Visit Book Notification to explore the full list of this week's new books. You can also follow your favorite authors so you'll be the first to know when their next book is available. As always, we have 10 books to highlight with a little something for everybody. Let's get into it. Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan universe continues with Executive Power by Brian Andrews and Jeffrey Wilson. When an American intelligence team is ambushed in Luanda, Kyle Ryan, youngest son of President Jack Ryan, becomes the sole survivor. The attack proves to be the opening move in a violent military coup that quickly escalates into the seizure of the U.S. Embassy and the capture of its staff, including Kyle. As U.S. forces battle insurgents through the city, Lieutenant Katie Ryan works to uncover who engineered the coup: a foreign government, a rogue Angolan general, or a more elusive power operating in the shadows. In Washington, President Jack Ryan faces a crisis with no clear target and hostages at the center of every calculation. With Kyle's life hanging in the balance, the Ryans must rely on one another's strengths, military, intelligence, and executive, to expose the truth behind the uprising and mount a rescue before time runs out. Executive Power will be released on November 25th. The Children of the Red Dust is a Mars adventure by Brandon Q. Morris and Christian Montillon. For 13-year-old Noel and his friend Elaney, life in the Mars settlement is boring. Until a nightmare becomes reality, everyone else falls into a deep coma. Left to fend for themselves, the two must unravel the mystery of the terrible sleep while coping with the chaos in the settlement. Their only ally is Tama, the station's artificial intelligence. Soon Noel and Elaney embark on a dangerous journey across the red, dusty surface of Mars. Time is running out because the fate of 200 lives lies in their hands. Can two children save everyone on Mars? The Children of the Red Dust will be available on November 30th. Best Offer Wins is an exciting debut novel by Marisa Kashino. 18 months and 11 lost bidding wars into house hunting in the overheated Washington, D.C. suburbs. 37-year-old publicist Margot Miyake gets a tip about the perfect house in the perfect neighborhood, slated to come up for sale in 1 month. Desperate to escape the cramped apartment she shares with her husband Ian, and in turn get their marriage, plan to have a baby, and whole life back on track, Margot becomes obsessed with buying the house before it's publicly listed and the masses descend, with unbeatable all-cash offers in hand. A little stalking, harmless. A bit of trespassing, necessary. As Margot infiltrates the homeowners' lives, her tactics grow increasingly unhinged. But just when she thinks she's won them over, she hits a snag in her plan. Undeterred, Margot will prove again and again that there's no boundary she won't cross to seize the dream life she's been chasing. The most unsettling part? You'll root for her, even as you gasp in disbelief. Best Offer Wins will be released on November 25th. Sun, Sea, and Blueberry Tea is a small-town rom-com by Kerry Evelyn. On a trip to Crane's Cove for a friend's wedding, a woman senses her fiancé, Zachy, has planned more than a simple getaway. Zachy, loving, chaotic, and devoted to his twin daughters, seems poised to deliver a romantic surprise that could reshape their own upcoming wedding. As she balances her need for order with his spontaneous nature, both begin confronting their pre-wedding nerves and insecurities about blending their lives into a family. In the small seaside town, surrounded by friends, bonfires, and two mischievous flower girls, they face the final questions before saying I do, and discover their forever may begin earlier and differently than planned. Find Sun, Sea, and Blueberry Tea on November 24th. Feud on the Frontier is the first book in the Nash Walker series by Patrick Lindsay. In the rugged aftermath of heartbreak, Nash Walker, a hardened moonshiner from the hills of Tennessee, rides west with nothing to lose. Texas offers a chance at redemption or ruin. From bounty hunter to reluctant Texas Ranger, Nash is soon swept into the bloody Sutton-Taylor feud, one of the deadliest range wars in frontier history. When an enchanting singer named Victoria pleads for help protecting her family's land from a ruthless neighbor and his gang of hired guns, Nash can't turn his back. With bullets flying and loyalties tested, he'll need the grit of a frontiersman, the law of a ranger, and the backing of cattle baron Charles Goodnight to survive. Will Nash find peace on the Texas frontier, or will this new fight cost him everything he has left? Feud on the Frontier begins on November 25th. The Demons Among Us series by Justin Boote begins with Entity. When Terry Robertson was a child, he watched helpless and terrified as a demon possessed his little sister, eventually ending her life, despite help from multiple exorcists. He vowed from that moment on that when he was older, he would devote his life to finding the demon that destroyed her and banish it back to hell. Pete and Janet Henderson move into their new home with their 9-year-old son, Danny, happy to start over again after a fire burns down their previous home. But things soon start going wrong. Danny wakes up in strange places, even outside when all doors and windows are locked. Inexplicable nosebleeds, as does Janet, who is also seeing terrifying shadows in the house. They soon realize it's not a doctor they need, but someone else, and that someone is ready and waiting. Entity will be released on November 28th. Aquilon, the Water Mage, is a historical portal progression fantasy series by Alex Toxic. After sacrificing his life to protect his people, a powerful mage awakens a millennium later to a world where magic has been replaced by technology. As he navigates this new, gadget-driven reality, he discovers that his resurrection isn't by chance. Someone still wants him dead, and they've tried to kill him twice. Determined to uncover the truth and teach his descendants the true meaning of sorcery, he embarks on a journey to unravel the conspiracy behind his death, all while coming to terms with a world that has forgotten the very magic he once wielded. Aquilon, the Water Mage, begins on November 26th. The Imaginary Friend is a new psychological thriller from Michelle Dunne. Angel says that people who mean the most harm come out by day. They're not lurking under your bed or in your wardrobe. They just walk around like normal people. Normal people that no one would suspect. Growing up as foster kids at Raven's Rock wasn't easy, but it's all Penny and Eve have ever known. But now that they're alone in the house, Eve vows that things are going to be different. She will love and protect her little sister as best she possibly can. But Penny isn't like other 10-year-olds, and Eve struggles to balance her own fragile self-care with caring for Penny. Soon it becomes clear that Penny is playing to a different set of rules, Angel's rules, and Eve is left wondering, how much harm can an imaginary friend possibly do? Find the Imaginary Friend on November 27th. Captive Audience is the first in the Beasts of Belfast series by Julie Weaver. As a true crime podcaster, Zara Sheridan prides herself on spotting danger from a mile away. But when she meets Rook O'Connell, dark, dangerous, and undeniably irresistible, she is immediately swept into a web of deception. One drink turns into a night she can't forget, and a trap she never saw coming. Now she's trapped in a fake marriage to an Irish gangster who demands she solve the murder that haunts him. To get her life back, Zara must crack the case. But the longer she stays in this world, and in his bed, the harder it is to remember this was ever a lie, and the more she falls for the very man she swore she'd never trust. Finally, we have Brace for Impact, the first in the Zara Sheridan series by Anthony J. Tata. Zara Sheridan, a newly appointed air marshal with a military police background, is on her first assignment when she notices 3 suspicious men boarding her flight. Alongside them is a sharply dressed Chinese businessman, raising her suspicions even further. As the plane takes off, Zara receives a disturbing alert. A military jet, the Hyperion X, has crashed near her North Carolina home, and one of its engineers, en route to a major deal in Taiwan, is on her flight. By the time she realizes the true stakes, it's too late. The plane is hijacked, with the lives of 350 passengers at risk. Zara must race against time to stop the hijackers, who are after a dangerous weapons technology that could trigger global chaos. The fate of the world hangs in her hands, and she's the only one who can stop it. Brace for Impact will be available on November 25th. That's our 10 books for this week. Until next time, you can check out booknotification.com. Book Notification offers an easy way to track your reading lists, follow your favorite authors, and never miss a new release. Our website is completely free to use, and it's packed with features to make your reading life easier. You can follow your favorite authors and get notified whenever they release new books. We send out an email every Tuesday with a list of fresh releases from the authors you love, but that's not all. You can track your reading progress, mark books as read, rate and review them, and even import your data from Goodreads, Calibre, Libby, and more. Want to discover something new? Check out Reader's Roulette for book recommendations, or use our personalized book release calendar to stay up to date with the latest titles. You can even tag books with custom labels, just like on Goodreads shelves, and get tailored recommendations for what to read next based on your current book. Whether you're looking for books in publication or want to see them listed in chronological order, we've got it covered. Plus, all of our authors are audited by real people, so you know the information is accurate. So why not give it a try and join the thousands of readers already using our site to stay on top of their reading game. Thank you for listening, and I'll be back next week with another 10 books.